Hey Jackson, this is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Or I'm going to teach this to you through this video today. And you're going to be thrilled, but the first thing I'm going to teach you to do is play Mary Had a Little Lamb. I know you know how to do it, but this is going to be in a new key using the notes that you need to play in tune in order for Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds to sound good. Okay, so stick with me here. I don't want to lose you. This is important. I want you to use this version of Mary Had a Little Lamb as your warm-up for playing this piece. We're going to play this. This piece is in the key of C. The song is in the key of C major. That means that there are no sharps and no flats. All the notes are natural. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to play Mary Had a Little Lamb on the A string, okay, using these three notes. Fourth finger to play the E, third finger to play the D, second finger to play the C. Alright, so all three of those notes are a whole step. Okay, so your C is a low 2. Alright, it's next to your first finger B. Your third finger is a D, that's a whole step away. Your fourth finger is an E, that's a whole step away. Alright? When you're playing Mary Had a Little Lamb, I want you to make sure that you clear the E string with your fourth finger. If you're touching the E string, your fourth finger cannot make a really beautiful sound because the E string will not vibrate and ring. Okay, let me show you the difference. I hope it comes through on the video. Here is the fourth finger that does not ring. And here is a fourth finger that rings. So hopefully you can hear the difference, but the difference is, again, the finger has to make sure that it's not touching the E string. Okay, so Mary Had a Little Lamb, those three notes, it'll go like this. When you can play that in tune consistently, every note in tune, then we can do this. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Let me play for you. So that first phrase uses a bunch of E's. All of them are going to be fourth fingers with the exception of the one on the second line after you play G and F. That one's an open E. But the other ones, all the E's on the first line need to be fourth fingers. Alright, make sure that you're playing your F with a low first finger, okay? So make sure that you understand on the E string, this is an F sharp. You have to go to a low first finger to play an F, and there are no F sharps in the key of C major, so keep it low. Okay, after that phrase, and go to the next phrase. Okay, so on that phrase there, you can start open E, open E here, then stay on the A string, so fourth finger. Again, again. Here you can use open E, and then the C is long. It's 3 dotted half notes tied together. Each dotted half note equals 3 beats, so it's a total of 9 beats, and then that's tied to a quarter note, so that's a 10th beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have to hold that C for a long time. All right, after that, a bunch of E's, okay? With one D in there and then a C at the end. All fourth fingers. After that, all right, then we get a C sharp, which is an accidental. It's not a part of the key of C major. And after the C sharp, we get to B, and then we change from 3 beats per measure to 4 beats per measure. You can see that in the time signature change, right where it says slowly. Now our time signature is 4/4. It started out in 3/4. All right, now we're going to have a couple of accidentals in this next part. So G sharp and F sharp and C sharp. All right, so we're really in a different key, although we haven't changed the key signature. So just make sure now that you know A, your third finger on the E string, G sharp is a half step under that, so it's a high second finger. F sharp is your regular 1. So it's no longer a low F, it's now an F sharp. And then on the A string you have D, and then C sharp, which is a high 2 on the A string, right under the D. I know you know all of this, I'm just making sure that you see it here in the music. I don't want you to learn this with any wrong notes. Okay, so here's this next part. Okay, so it's the same 2 measures repeated 3 times, and then you get a B at the end, a high B on the E string, that's your 4th finger. From there it says DC al coda. DC is abbreviation for da capo, which means back to the beginning, and then you play to the coda. You'll see the coda sign on the 3rd line, halfway through, holding the long C. When you get to the coda sign, after you go back to the beginning and you play from the beginning again, you jump from the coda sign to the coda at the end. Okay, so I can try to show you this. It's going to look backwards, but hopefully you can follow this anyway. So you play all the way till you get to the DC. After you play this note here, you go back to the beginning again, and then you play till you get to right here, this coda here. So you're going to play these 2 C's, and then instead of continuing on here, you're going to jump to the coda sign right here, and you're going to play to the end there. Okay. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to play from the beginning, and I'm going to jump to the coda when we get there. Okay, so right here, when you get to the coda, right before you switch to the coda, you have 2 dotted half note C's tied together, which equals 6 beats, and then that's going to tie to the first note of the coda, which is a whole note, which is 4 beats. So it's really 10 beats all together again, and then you go to these B flats, which are low 4th fingers on the E string, right next to your 3rd finger. G natural, and then F natural. So we're back into the key of C major, except for that we have these B flats. So we have the A, we know where your 3rd finger goes for an A. So your 4th finger is B flat, right next to that. Then a whole step below is your G, so low 2. And a whole step below that is a F, that's your low 1. Okay? And we're to a low C again, back to C natural. And we repeat that 3 times. And then the very last note is a C on the E string. You have to actually extend your 4th finger higher than 1st position. So in 1st position, the highest note is a B. Okay? And for the C, you're going to have to extend it a half step above that. Okay, that's the note you're looking for at the end. Alright, I'm going to play through the entire song now. Starting from the beginning, I'm going to go all the way to the D CL coda, then I'm going to go back to the beginning, and when I get to the coda, I'm jumping to the end. So here's the whole thing without stopping. Alright, work on it, and look forward to hearing you play this in a couple of weeks.